Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hacking with Friends. My name is Cody Kinsey. I am a security researcher at Varonis, and today we have a very special guest and petroleum refilling expert, Nick. Nick, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me on, and it's been a while since I've been a petroleum refilling expert. That's a good way of spinning it. I like that.
Yeah, no, I figure, as a petroleum engineer like yourself,
Yes.
you would have a lot of things to say about some of the scenes in this upcoming hack. But of course, also, you are a computer science and engineering person, so you might have some other things to say as well. So Nick, of course, is the co-host of Nullbyte and Hack5. It's great to have him on again because we just aired our first version of this series, and it was immediately taken down by YouTube. We had to file, I think, 3 or 4 separate appeals in order to get it unblocked in most countries. Although it was kind of interesting because as we were doing the premiere, we in the United States could not watch it. But people in Germany, India, and the UK were all like, "Why aren't you in the chat?" And we were just like, "Because we're banned from the chat, like in the United States." So it was kind of like an awkward release. Because we know now that we actually have to do individual copyright claims for every single clip that we show you guys, we're just going to upload this way in advance and then try to have the time to make sure it doesn't get taken down immediately. So thank you for hanging with us, everybody who is with us live. We ended up doing things on Twitch, so if you're having problems watching this on YouTube, you can always go to Twitch if you're watching it live. Twitch doesn't seem to care about this and is a lot friendlier to doing this sort of thing. So yeah, we went through a bunch of different scenes from Mr.Robot last time, and this was by far our most popular and most requested episode. And there was a lot to break down. So this time we're going to go through some other episodes, including a couple that I believe inspired a Hack 5 episode. So if you guys want to learn some more about the hacks that are shown in a couple of these scenes, we can refer you to a couple episodes we've done that really show how a hacker might do this and what the limits in reality really are. Nick, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's get back into it.
Okay, cool.
Mr.Robot.
All right, let's do it.
Even though the European Union has been denying that it could affect them, this week we saw that they were wrong. The banks cannot.
Okay, so we have a smartphone or a smart watch.
And I don't know how she's listening to the radio, but
Yeah, sorry. I was just noting that it is now a dumb watch, so that's funny. So her smartwatch is now dumb. Hacked. Okay, so the alarm is going off. That's annoying. It's not taking the code. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so one thing I just want to point out right away is this is a very fancy house. This looks very, very spacious and very, very fancy. And what it looks like is also it has a smart home system built in. So when she comes in, the alarm's going off. She has to punch in the code repeatedly, indicating it's kind of malfunctioning a little bit in order to get it to work again. And man, that alarm is really annoying.
Yeah, I have to imagine that it's not supposed to be like
And
that.
I'm just the messenger. I am telling you folks, this is what they don't want you to hear. Because a union strike at the Comet natural gas plant will cause an energy shortage, the likes of which has never been seen in the Northeast. Without literal power, we will
Wow,
never.
that's a big
This
projector
is part
screen.
of a strategy to declare economic war on this country, and they know it. They know exactly what they are doing. And 2015 will be known as the year that America, this great nation, swapped democracy for dictatorship.
Lady, it's too bright in that room for a projector.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to do the shades first.
Yeah.
Okay, things seem calm now. Good, we're through it. So someone was watching TV, or what's the deal? Oh, whatever. Let's just get in your
Fancy
giant pool. Yeah. No need to search for an intruder. Let's just, enjoy the pool. Wait, is it fully enclosed indoors? It's so weird. Nice.
There's gonna be a jump scare.
Right. No, they just transitioned away from it. It just got dark and scary.
I would not be in that house anymore, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's I'm already a little bit alarmed where I would be spooked to the point where I would at least investigate it a little bit.
Yeah. Not just like go into my most vulnerable position in the shower.
Also, I'm sorry. This is like, $1 million condo or something. Why is that the cheapest shower head I've ever seen? Like, that looks like something you would expect to see in like a YMCA gym, not like like a house that has like a fully enclosed like Olympic-sized pool. But okay, let's move on. Oh, okay, and for just so we're keeping track, she just got scalded. Although, like, I didn't see like a digital control for the shower. Like, I thought this was just like a regular shower. So this is one where, like, unless there's like a digital thermostat or something really fancy, like, it seemed like she was just using like a knob. So I'm not really totally sure how this one would work unless you were like manipulating the boiler or something,
I don't
or
know
like the
what
water
digital
heater.
interface the boiler would have. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe there's like a smart like gauge down there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it would be one thing if maybe you had something where you could set like the maximum temperature to like something custom so it never goes above or below a certain mix. If you had a smart water heater, maybe. So, okay, so maybe if you had a smart water heater, you could like disengage the safeties and suddenly just make it so that it was flowing a lot more hot water. I'm just going to say like maybe that could be a thing. Although,
It's
still seems.
plausible. But
Yeah,
yeah, you can't hack analog devices for the most part.
exactly. So it's not like they like hacked her shower head. It would have to be like getting into the smart water heater and then like turning up the maximum temperature or finding a flaw that like disabled the safety. Still a little weird though. Okay, can I just say her bathroom looks like a hotel bathroom?
Whoa. Okay.
All right.
Very fancy.
53 degrees. That's amazing. That is really cold.
Yeah,
I would,
rich,
yeah.
Rich lady gets to experience uncomfort for the first time.
Yeah, like 68 degrees. That's a much better temperature, but yeah, 53, no. So we can see here that there's some sort of like embedded, she's just got tablets around in frames, but basically it's controlling a smart home system that I was just hoping to see if there was something about like water heater or whatever, but no, it's just what you would expect to see.
She has
Okay.
a smart TV in her library.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Second floor, 75 degrees. That's
75?
lady, that is way
pretty
too
warm.
hot. Yeah, that's too hot. Well, yeah, that's her mistake right there. It's like the system's like unable to comply. This is not a comfortable temperature for humans. You must be drunk. Resetting temperature to standard. That's really funny. Well, yeah. Aside from the fact that it very well should reject that temperature just on principle, it seems as though this device is no longer complying. And I really like this scene of her like selecting something on a digital interface and then having it like automatically reset itself. Like that's something that really stuck with me from the scene. So we actually ended up doing a Hack 5 episode based on this specific Mr. Robot scene where we did this, and I was able to use a Python program to send requests to a light bulb, and when Michael was holding his phone and he would switch them off, I was able to tell the light bulb to turn itself on, and you could see the control to switch the light bulb back on effectively, and it looked like a ghost was just like pressing the buttons on the app. So like this is actually like, I love the effect here because someone who is getting like hacked in this way or having their smart device accessed without their permission probably is getting pretty freaked out right now, because literally it looks like a ghost or a phantom is like pressing and selecting a certain temperature over and over and over. But this is actually super achievable with an API. And really the only thing you would need to do to get this kind of access to this device would be break into this person's Wi-Fi network. So if she had a weak Wi-Fi password and all these devices are basically open to having somebody just send messages to their API and give them instructions, provided they're on the same local network, then this is actually super probable and also very spooky when it's done in real life. So you can actually do this, and it looks scary.
Annoying. Yeah, that's why you create an IoT network if you want to use all this stuff.
Exactly. Yes.
Some political talking head on television, blabbing on and on and on, telling people, lying.
I love the camera that just went behind her head as well. Like while we're talking about different like problems here, anybody who is like spooking her or has access to this network, like can now watch through the cameras and see exactly where she
Yeah.
is and how she's reacting. So this whole smart home is basically being turned against this woman, and now because somebody else has access to it, they're able to not only turn on and off these devices in ways that are either malicious, harmful, or just scary. They are also able to watch her reactions and kind of ratchet it up and kind of make like this like an escape room almost, where they're just sitting there like making things get scarier and scarier and waiting for you to figure out what's going on or how to get out.
Yeah, she just has a much higher tolerance for fear than I do. I would have been like out of there. I keep saying this. Like she just like is like curious. She seems like kind of curious about what's gonna happen next. Like in what other way? Like her house is gonna try to hurt her. So props to her.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just found out that my computer's about to die, so I'm gonna plug it in real quick. But while we're
Okay.
talking about that, yeah, I as I was kind of saying, like it's really easy to do this sort of attack because most IoT devices are not set up for security; they're set up for convenience only. So, yeah, in order to access the API of an IoT device, you really just need to be on the same network. So if they have the network just kind of flat, so they have maybe like an open guest network that's available for people who are just nearby or whatever or staying there, then
Yeah.
it's pretty likely that you would also be able to access the IoT devices through that network without even needing the password to the main network. So okay, my computer will no longer die. Let's get rolling.
There, instead, story. Somebody who can explain the past. Because this quote-unquote crisis has happened before. If we simply understand.
I love the effect of it glitching out and like the screen going up, but the video is still playing. Like that's just very, very chaotic.
Manufacturing crisis, why don't we
Okay, that looks extremely analog. But
Yeah.
maybe
It's just like analog is like cool. So maybe it's just a really expensive stereo with an analog display.
okay. Sure, Nick. I'll
I could
I'll go
buy
with
that. I could buy that.
Fine.
The end of the world as we know it.
But okay, fine. It just looks really analog to me, but fine.
They actually got people cheering in the streets. Cheering in the streets! Now let me tell you, all of those people get that and out of their But they're so happy.
So annoying.
Inflation.
Okay, so Foundation is apparently the name of the fake IoT like home interface hub that she has everywhere. So they're hacking her foundation. That sounds severe.
Yeah, that's right. Inflation.
So like when we were looking for Hack 5 episodes to do, this scene in particular stood out to me because I think that the writers went all out to try to find ways that you could abuse an IoT device that's likely to be in like a fancy person's home in order to cause absolute chaos and make them just lose their minds. So, the end result of this is she like moves out of the house. And really what the hackers were trying to do here were scare her into leaving. And because this is like a tech savvy person, they have lots of technology integrated into their home. Like you're not going to be able to make them think there's a ghost or a poltergeist. You really need to start making them think that like things are glitching out and being crazy and are just intolerable, and that either the things are the products are malfunctioning or there's a more serious problem. And in this case, Nick, you're right. I would not have stuck around in that house for half as long as this lady did. As soon as things started getting like weird, I'd be like, "Why is the TV on? Like, is someone here? Like, I'm calling somebody else to go check this out. I'm going to a hotel." Like, but then again, that was the goal of the hackers, was to get the person to leave so that they could break into the house and basically use it. So, I guess we would have played right into their plan, huh, Nick?
That's true. I don't think it's far ahead.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, she accomplishes the same goal while like suffering more. So
Yeah. So I guess like let's recount like what would you need to do to emulate this hack and how practical is it? I would say this is extremely practical. And if you wanted to emulate it, you would just need to break into that person's Wi-Fi network or get access to their Ethernet network, and you would be able to do most of these things unless the IoT device was really locked down. Now, as we were lamenting last time, Sonos devices no longer allow you to abuse an API to just play increasingly cultural rap music at coffee shops until, eventually there's so much swearing that they have to just shut down the Sonos. This used to be really fun as a little test to see if you could access devices on the same network, but it no longer works because now you're required to be signed in and authenticated to interact with that API. So it will probably work on a lot of IoT devices, especially cheaper ones. But nowadays, because of abuse like this, there have been other APIs that have been locked down. But most smart lights and stuff like that will still work if you want to try this out. And we feature this in the Hack 5 episode. I believe it's called IoT Nightmare. So yeah, check that out if you want to see a little bit more about this. All right, so let's get started on the next clip.
Linux Mint.
Linux Mint. Okay. All right. All right.
I figured Elliot for Arch type of guy, but
yeah, a lot of the time he's on Kali. I don't know why he's doing Mint right now, but he is really showing it off. He's like, wait, it's poisoned. this Minty Linux is not the one I want to touch.
Too casual.
Whoa, I have to kill it. Okay.
There we go.
That's so funny. He's just like, oh yeah, I'll just use. This is wrong. Why was he so serious about that? Like, I'm sure whatever you're like doing in like Mint, you could, and vice versa.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter.
You can do. Kali is just convenient because it comes pre-installed with a lot of tools.
Yeah, but like so does Parrot, SecurityOS, and a bunch of other stuff. And you can just
exactly.
install the tools you want.
Exactly. Like Elliot, you're smart enough to figure out how to hack using Linux Mint. It's okay.
Okay, at least I guess it's just showing he's like dual booting, but it's just funny that like he was like refusing to touch the keyboard in disgust. He's just like, I will not interact with Linux Mint. All right, let's get some work done with Kali then. Yes, booting up, good. Okay. So he's got the standard Kali Linux background. I have to say, if you boot this up at a coffee shop, people immediately know you're up to some stuff. So, Elliot, a little bit of OPSEC here. Like, use one of the like 3 other default backgrounds. Come on. Okay, he's running Kali as root.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous, but Elliot seems like a dangerous kind of guy. Typically, you're supposed to,
on the edge.
create a lower privilege user. And then, go from there. But I run Kali as root too. It's all right, Elliot. Okay. Wait, what was that? I'm going back. So you're going to go ahead and mount this okay, and check green. Okay.
I don't know what
Rootkit Hunter. Do you know what a rootkit is?
No.
It's something that is supposed to like sit in like the root directory of a system and be very, very persistent and stay for a very long time. So it's like a rat, but a rootkit is designed to be something that's very, very hard to find and remove.
Oh, so he's checking if there's rootkits in his current machine?
Maybe.
Hunter.
Oh, okay. So, hey, I actually wasn't tracking that, but like I think that's what's happening, because if he is suspicious of his Linux Mint installation, then he could be checking to see if someone has inserted a rootkit into it. That's an interesting thought. Okay, so he's mounting the system that he's suspicious of here, and he's going to... All right, so that's why I didn't want to touch it. He wasn't disgusted by the operating system, you guys. He was just afraid that it was gonna, do a hack to him. Okay, so it's running strings. What strings?
I all the strings. It's checking. It's looking for bad strings.
Yeah. Well, typically strings is a command that's used when you're trying to dump programs and try to find passwords and stuff like that. So, Okay. Look at that. Everything looks pretty good so far. So it's performing file properties checks, performing shared libraries checks. Okay. Cool. Everything's looking good.
Who's this?
That's a great question.
Good job.
Oh, okay. So clearly, his screen is being intercepted,
Yep.
and yeah, he has not been able to discover that it was in fact backdoored. So, looks like what happened here is I remember this character is supposed to be really good at creating like malware. So she managed to create undetectable malware, which was used to backdoor his system. Because clearly they're able to watch that, plus a bunch of other weird security cameras. Okay, question. If you backdoor the Linux mint, okay, got it. But then he takes like a fresh copy of Kali Linux and plugs it in, and then using that other operating system, you are still watching his screen.
Yeah,
How?
I don't understand that because I feel like it would be a completely different hard drive partition and it would be read write protected. That's some crazy malware.
Yeah, well, I
And
don't
like,
think that
and
that's
Mint's not even running.
Yeah, okay, so there's two explanations here. One of them is so let me just first explain the problem. The problem here is if you backdoor one operating system, he
Yeah,
shuts it down, and then you take a fresh operating system, and you're using that fresh operating system to take a magnifying glass to the suspicious one. How would they have hacked this other fresh operating system?
I don't know.
Two explanations. One, she hacked both. So the Linux is infected, but then also the Kali's infected, and she's able to watch both at the same time. That would be a little weird and way harder because then she has to get to like his desktop or his laptop computer or desktop, and then also get to like the USB stick as well. So like that's a little weird. But I mean, I guess it's technically doable. But then also, if you've already infected both, then it just seems like I guess I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna say that she must have infected both in order for that to be possible because the other alternative is like a hardware implant that is in the monitor. What
Uh-huh.
do you think of that,
That's what
Nick?
I was thinking too. Like there was like maybe she just plugged in another HDMI cable or like just plugged in a splitter and he didn't even look behind his he hasn't looked behind his computer yet.
This is true. This is true.
He's
So
so focused on the software, he's not even thinking about the hardware.
exactly. So obviously there are ways to bypass the sorts of protections that somebody might try to do. So if you just go after, let's say, the HDMI cable that plugs into the back of their monitor, if you can have a special like HDMI cable that maybe sends a signal that somebody else can tune into to be able to see what's on the monitor, like that would certainly make it really easy to intercept what was on there without caring about which operating system somebody was using, because you could watch over their shoulder as they use that monitor. So I'm going to say either there's a hardware implant that they're just like, good job for plugging that into the back of his computer. Or more likely, since he was doing a malware check and then like he basically wasn't able to find the rootkit, and they were congratulating her, uh,
Hmm.
maybe she just wrote really good malware on both of his operating systems. Because it really doesn't make sense that there's only one. This is the plot's in kind of thin ice here. So I would say like this one's a little bit less likely just because like in order to be watching like that, you would need to like have all exploited both operating systems, which is like
Yeah.
like less likely. But
Yeah.
and also like a cable like that, I guess she's working with the FBI, so maybe like they're saying good job for sneaking that cable in there or whatever. But like
Yeah.
it's less
I
likely with her
think
background as like a malware person.
if they showed off him using a different operating system, like where he thinks he's bypassing it, I do think it has to be like something external, like hardware.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
leaning on the hardware camp.
yeah, so I would say this one is either like a little bit less likely than some of the other ones if we're talking about software, but if we're talking about hardware, then I guess the FBI might have a couple of these cables lying around and just need someone to sneak in and plug them in. So that one could be more reasonable. All right, let's get started with the next one. I was gonna say this looks like my old neighborhood, except there's no shopping carts.
Metadata. The story behind the data.
I guess that technically is one definition of metadata. Sure. All right.
So
So
it's like someone's trash metadata about their lives.
yeah. So
It's just like,
so I guess he's like learning enough context to do a thing to whoever lives in this house. So far, he just looked in the mail and found a postcard, and then looked in the trash and found a receipt.
Getting information is one thing, but how it was created, where and by whom, can often be illuminating.
Hey, Nick, what are those?
lockpicking kit.
That is a lockpicking kit.
So you got some rakes.
Yeah, so raking is not hard. You basically just like have a little S-shaped pick, you put it in a lock and wiggle it around. And I would say like 60% of locks will just open if you do that long enough with enough vigor, provided you also have a torque wrench. Now, with enough finesse, I'd say 75% of locks can be opened, but most door locks, provided they're not high security locks, are really easy. So this part is extremely accurate.
Who the fuck is that?
Is Darlene home?
No, she's out.
Whoa. Okay, so some stuff's going on, and he just got caught on camera also breaking in, so that's clearly not good. Sending message, important. Also, PGP message is being sent. So, Nick, what's PGP?
Pretty good privacy.
That's right, it is.
Yeah, it's a way to verify. It's a way to verify that a message is coming from someone with a key that you know.
Right. So you can establish the identity
And it's
of
encrypted.
the sender, and it's encrypted.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And is it easy to use?
It depends who you are. Not for grandma.
No, it's not. It's not. It's annoying to use.
Yeah.
This email wasn't for Tyrell. It was for us.
Fuck me sideways, how did he know?
He must have fished us when you went to that URL.
Wow. Oh, somebody went to a malicious URL. Well, you're not supposed to do that. So these guys seem, like police because of the way that they swear, and then also because of the way that they're dressed and their hair is in this. As I said, there's multiple types of hackers. There's the hackers wearing hoodies, and then there's like the hackers that are like, feds, and then there's the hackers that are like corporate. So these ones seem very police-ish to me.
Shit.
They swear
He has
a
a
lot.
cop mustache too.
What if Darlene gets back?
Like most pics people post on Instagram or Facebook, they don't realize they just gifted whatever social media site their camera type, phone model, name, and location. All hidden inside the photograph's metadata.
Okay, yes, metadata, this is true. Although, if I were to send a photo, if I was to post something on Instagram, you are technically giving that social media company the information about your camera. Yes, but they strip it before it goes any further. So, I guess I'll see exactly what's going on here. But you can't you would need to trick someone into sending you the picture directly, because if you post it on virtually any social media website, they're going to strip all that metadata out. Now, they will take that metadata and use it themselves, so they might tag the photo or something automatically if you haven't disabled it. So maybe that's the case, but that seems like a pretty rookie mistake. Yeah, so unless you strip out the metadata, yes, the metadata does go to the social media company, but you can't just right mouse click on an Instagram photo, download it, and then look at the metadata, because the company stripped that out, so you can't stalk someone.
Yeah.
So I'm not totally sure what he means here.
We'll see where this is going.
Yeah.
Come on, Darlene, pick up the goddamn phone.
Oh, she left her dumb phone.
Jesus H, she left her phone downstairs. How long ago did she leave?
Doesn't matter. She's back.
Nice.
It's over. Our lead asset is about to get burned. Let's bring him in. This guy's time is past due anyway. I never trusted his bug eyes.
How we do?
That's so mean. That's so mean. His bug eyes?
This guy's all over the place. Mustache guy is all over the place.
He's swearing a lot, making generalization about people's eyes and how
He seems
trustworthy
really
they are
nervous.
based on
Like,
how
look,
much...
she's cool, calm, collected, even though like her whole operation's about to go head over heels, and he's just freaking out.
Yeah, she even picked out a nice set of earrings for today. Like, whereas he's just losing it. Okay, well, all right.
That it'll burn Elliot's bridge to Tyrell.
It's about to be burned anyway. Where are you going?
Don't look at me, act normal. Elliot fished us, he's in your apartment. Stay cool, don't blow your cover.
Nice. Okay.
See? She thought of a plan.
So, all right, so Elliot like sent a phishing URL and they clicked on it and that's how he got the information that he's now acting on. All right, so that is now more clear. But that was smart because, you know, now like you've at least been able to brief her. That's a lot of cameras. That's like an abnormal amount of cameras. There are some things that confuse me about this scene. Oh. Well, this seems like it's going to be a very serious conversation.
You said you were leaving town.
Okay, well, I don't think this has anything to do with hacking, so I think we're at the end of a rope here. But let's talk about metadata. So would you be able to find someone's location using metadata? Well, I mean, frankly, you could do it with OSINT. You know, if you have photos of someone's environment where they are, then it's actually pretty easy to use landmarks and other things to find out where they are, unless they're in a completely indoor space and there's no other photos available. I mean, I was able to one time figure out which country someone was in by what brand of water bottle was in a photo with them. So there's lots of different ways that are applicable to finding someone's location via photos. So you cannot just right mouse click on like a social media platform and like download the information about that camera or whatever. Like I don't think that that's practical, but if you were able to get into someone's social media account, you might be able to take a look at the metadata that was uploaded in some way, shape, or form. I believe that data is retained, so the social media company would be able to track you and see where your stuff is unless you specifically omitted that data. Now, there's ways of making sure that that data is not saved in the first place if you want to go through and make sure that your photos are not geotagged. But if you do geotag them, then anytime you upload or send them to someone, you're basically allowing them to see lots of information, your specific device model, and also where the photo was actually taken and when. So there's even more techniques you can use to like dig into photos to learn more about what type of device took that photo. But for the purpose of Instagram and social media and stuff, I would say that this, I don't know, I don't exactly know how he would come across the metadata in like an Instagram photo, which seems to be what he was talking about. So he did make the mention that the company is the one receiving the data, so maybe there's a link I'm kind of missing here. So if I've missed something, then please feel free to let me know in the comments because, yeah, this is one where I'm not quite making the leap as to how that data would be like useful in this circumstance. All right, Nick, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm thinking about the scene because so he for sure just sent them a link to I think it was like logging into the social media thing. I don't know because did you remember what kind of link he said he sent? I remember he made the analogy to social media companies and when you upload it, they have all the metadata. But
yeah, because if he sent like
what was the
phishing
phishing link he sent? I can't remember him saying what kind of phishing link it was.
Yeah, so maybe it was to social media or something like that. Because if you had access to social media and you were monitoring someone, or like extracting the data to monitor someone, that could be more practical. So maybe that's what I was missing on this one. Okay, let's roll the next one.
Yeah.
Evidence suggests F Society linked to Iran. Ooh, that's going to stir people up. And you know it's on Vox Explainer, so you know it's real news. 2015, dated. Okay, a lot of plot details. Oh,
It's a mint.
we're on our backdoored Linux. Mint Linux. So we see there's 2 files, and it looks like and they're stored in temp, where all good files are stored. So I guess he's getting rid of them.
When you delete something, you're making a choice to destroy it,
Well,
to never see it again. You choose
Well,
to
does
delete
he-
because you need to free up space,
Does he just have blackmail
because you don't want it anymore,
on all of his friends?
because it no
Oh.
longer holds
Oh,
value.
okay. Sorry.
or is
Yes.
this like a fake person?
No, this is his friend. The person that was just in,
In
the news.
The news. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so there's 8 items in accounts. So he has information about 8 different accounts. His family, 3 items. His
He only has
interests.
5 interests.
Wow. Simple
He only has
man.
5.
School, 2, and then work another 4. So it looks like he just keeps like a casual, folder on every single one of his acquaintances and friends. Nick, do you do that?
Why are you asking?
I'm just curious. Like, do you relate to this? Is this relatable to you?
No. And if it was, it probably wouldn't be this organized.
Yeah,
But I do like his use of optical or of CD drives, because those, I like, as far as like cheap storage medium go, like those are like the longest lasting.
Yeah, they are. So that's actually a good point. So like one thing that's cool about optical media is like it's currently, as far as I know, one of the only ways to preserve media like beyond like a certain period where the other types of media we have, like hard drives, just will demagnetize or not store data any longer. So optical drives are often used for really long-term storage, but also they are easy to encrypt and make the disk image really difficult to read unless you have a certain password. So this is a way where you can basically put some kind of in like cold storage effectively and just write something to a relatively secure and long-lasting and somewhat durable storage media. I remember these drives, and I'm actually kind of impressed how much data you can fit on like a dual layer like Blu-ray or some of the other options out there that allow you to just write like a lot of data, like comparable to like a hard drive, onto an optical drive. So kind of cool.
Because it no longer holds value. Is that what happened to Mobley and Trenton? Were they unwanted, taking up too much space?
It's a pretty violent metaphor for deleting. Okay, so he's archiving his people files. Got it. I don't have. Let's see. Oh wow, you can see the contents of the family.
It's gonna get crazy.
Yeah, there's a whole
It's gonna
tree.
keep growing.
There's a
I
whole
know.
tree to this. Okay, so
I feel
like this guy's got
like a
extensive
tree
files.
hierarchy isn't the best way to do this. It's a matrix. It's a web.
Wow. Yeah, so that's interesting. I will confess I do have a wiki that I keep that like allows me to keep like track of like notes and stuff, but not not this.
A wiki is a better format too, I think, than a bunch of random files in on your computer.
I agree. So I want to see the format these backups are in. Because a lot of people do forensic stuff and want to save information. Okay, so we have a bunch of different Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter. Okay, so these are PDFs. So what he's done is basically scraped this person's feed and then made a PDF backup of it, which is something I've done before. So typically, if I was an investigator and I want to take a record of a website, then I can just, or someone's social media site, there's various tools that will just scroll to the bottom of the page, so it'll continue going down for as long as it's going to feed, and just take screenshot after screenshot, and then stitch them together into a PDF. So this is actually a browser extension that I use pretty often. All right, archive 2 people. Oh my gosh, I love it. So,
okay.
so he like full on doesn't trust the computer anymore, and he's getting revenge on it for being bugged. Have you ever done this, Nick?
No, I've
It
had
is
like
it is incredibly satisfying.
to drill a hole through it or just destroy it in general.
I mean, to destroy it in general, but putting holes in computers is one of the most satisfying things you can do, especially when you have a personal relationship with that computer. So I just have to say, I identify with what he's doing right now, because I felt like doing that to this particular computer several times, actually even today.
And one day you'll be able to.
Yes, one day I will be able to. Yeah, take off those capacitors and whatever that other thing was.
Whoa,
Yes.
whoa. Crazy.
You can't keep doing this.
What?
Why did you wipe down?
Routine.
Hacking Tyrell while I could.
That's a seriously, like, why'd you break all your crap? I was like, routine. It's like walking into someone's like home and seeing their like smart TV just like smashed and being like, why did you do that? And like, routine.
Well, I mean, it seems like Elliot has like built up a reputation of being kind of a weirdo, and people just kind of take it at face value now.
Okay, well now, like, we're testing the plot waters where we're seeing if it was like a hardware implant where like literally his monitor's just bugged, or if it was like a rootkit. Because if his monitor was just bugged, then he has done effectively nothing to deal with the situation by destroying all those objects.
Yeah, he still has to destroy the monitors.
Yeah, he's gonna put in like a new, I don't know, like a new processor and a new whatever other thing he lit on fire. He's gonna unsnap a couple capacitors or whatever else he snapped off, and then boom, like they're gonna be monitoring him again through this weird cable, if that's the case. So I guess we'll find out if he's still bugged. She seemed kind of freaked out though, so it kind of led me to believe the rootkit option, which would make the other scene again less plausible.
Confusing again. Yep.
Yeah.
Think it'd be tricky. Wasn't. Evil Corp's corporate mail servers, they haven't patched anything since Shell Shock. He doesn't even use two-step verification. His password was just his wife's maiden name and Sweden's Independence Date 6/6.
Okay, what just happened? What was all that? Do you know what Shell Shock is?
No, I don't.
Okay, so Shell Shock was a big vulnerability that affected lots of different websites a long time ago. So saying that something hasn't been patched since Shell Shock is just saying that like it hasn't been patched in a very long time. So the other comment was on two-factor authentication. Of course, Nick, you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Talked
So
about that a lot last time.
yeah, so if two-factor authentication was enabled, then someone's password actually isn't that useful. You still need to get a second method of logging in, and they would have had to do something like a SIM swap attack or like social engineer this guy or something extra. But fortunately, because two-factor wasn't enabled, all they needed to do was brute force the password, and they should be able to get in without alerting anyone.
Yep, and it looks like, yeah, they're showing the brute forcing software right there.
Exactly.
And it took 5 seconds.
1/6 away from the obvious, but still, this is bad noob practice.
Okay, so now he's in this guy's email. It seems like a lot of these systems will like monitor the IP addresses you connect with and then notify if you connect from somewhere whack that you've like never connected to before. But it seems as though they did not have that feature enabled.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not even using 2FA. And like sometimes you'll have to use like a VPN if you're trying to log into like enterprise software like this. But yeah, this company doesn't take cybersecurity seriously.
No, they do not. So one thing you can immediately tell is like this company's using nicer software than the hospital scene.
Yeah.
It doesn't look all like Windows 95 or 98. Sorry.
98.
But you can also see that Dulles servers are responding at 98%. This is obviously like an IT guy's email. Like this is someone that's dealing with a bunch of like random like IT stuff. Oh, except for this, Jenna is like dinner reservations tonight. Wow. Oh, sorry, Joanna.
His email. His life, it's nice, happy, perfect. This doesn't make sense.
Wait, this is Tyrell Wellick? Okay. Okay, all right, sorry. I wasn't sure who we were hacking for a second, but wow. Really? You would use the Sweden's Independence Day for that? That seems like he would have a better password.
Did he know I was gonna hack him?
Well, maybe it's a honeypot.
Did he let me? I'm gonna need to wipe everything.
Oh my gosh, she's wiping again.
Oh no!
Yeah. Take out the SIM card. I don't know why your computer had it. Why does his computer have a SIM card in it?
I don't know.
Okay, let's move on.
I don't know.
Maybe it was
Hacking
a
on the
maybe
go. Hacking on the
maybe
go.
it was a mobile device maybe. All right, we have successfully stabbed the hard drive with the drill. Twice. We've ripped off a processor or some memory or something. Drilled another hard drive, put that stuff all in a garbage bag. Okay, well, it seems like that is definitely known to the state of California to cause cancer. So you cannot just nuke a bunch of silicone in your microwave and expect it not to be bad for you. But okay, so we got another wipe down. So I sense a pattern here, and of course these clips are called the wipe scenes of Mr. Robot. So I feel like we're going to see a couple wipe scenes, but let's see what's kind of consistent here. He goes after the hard drive, which are like spinning platter hard drives, and he drills them to make sure that they are shattered and in a bunch of pieces.
And everything to a crisp. You're in luck. My boss is
I'm gonna pause it. So yeah, we drill the hard drives, we destroy the platters inside, we take out any sort of memory that could store information, and we put it in a microwave, and then we take SIM cards and we put that in the microwave as well. I guess that would destroy like a burner number, so yeah, sure, that makes sense.
I don't know. I feel like there's less dangerous ways. There's less toxic ways to destroy it.
This is probably true.
Looks like everybody's lining up this morning, so you got some time.
Jesus. Are we really doing this right now?
Hey, I don't need.
Acetone might work. For which part
I
specifically?
don't need no judgment.
The SIM cards, like the small things, dissolve all the plastic at least, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be.
You
could
would
still
need
rip off
to-
some information.
You would still need to destroy the chip inside, because you would just be getting rid of the housing around the chip and just
and
exposing it more.
You could just someone could rip off information. So I don't know. Use a hammer.
Yeah, there you go, a hammer.
I don't need no judgment. Not like I want to be here either.
Sorry, dude, I got no sympathy. You don't want to put cute puppies out of their misery? You don't have to. That's just sick.
That ain't on me. I got to pay the bills. Only reason why I'm here.
I like how they're like hassling this dude they're also bribing too. Don't you know the first rule of bribing people? Don't hassle them while you're bribing them to do the illegal thing.
You know, I've run all the scenarios of our little revolution here, but using a dead puppy oven was not on my list.
I mean, I guess if you really want to get rid of computers, this is something you can do.
More computer destruction. Yep. Okay, they're just burning it. Probably also a little toxic.
Oh, definitely. Dang.
Like, I hope they use some software to wipe the hard drives first. Just like, just like constantly write like random bits to the hard drive before you do that.
Yeah, like zero it out a bunch and make sure that like
Exactly.
even if someone was able to recover something, they would still have a tough time finding anything.
Yeah, because once you can't just like press delete on all the files in your hard drive and then they're gone. Like there's still like recovery software. You can still get it back. And if like the hard drive's not really damaged and someone who has like really big budget really wants to know what's on it, they still might be able to extract some useful bytes from that hard drive.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so I feel like we've got the gist of it. Like we've got the wipe scenes here. So let's go ahead and cover a different one. But from this, I can say that if you did want to destroy some computers and you wanted to make sure that they were absolutely dead, drilling the hard drives, destroying all the memory and the SD cards, and then taking the computers and physically throwing them into an incinerator is probably a pretty good way to go. Yep. So I would say, yes, this would make it pretty difficult to recover what was on those computers, because you're treating those computers like they are the Terminator.
Oh, now we got the SNL clip. Nice.
All right, so I believe this is the last one we have. Yes. So let's go ahead and watch the SNL clip and see how they do.
Now on USA, Mr.Robot, the award-winning techno-thrilling series about the paranoid mind of the world's greatest hacker.
Hello, friend.
He's already hacked the world economy, but now he faces his greatest challenge yet.
Hey, man, you know computers?
Yeah, who are you?
Oh, well, that hurts. Leslie Jones, SNL. You gotta help me find out who hacked my pics, who got all my little nasties.
The victim of the...
Oh my gosh. So the number one thing that the average person wants to have a conversation with me about as soon as they see a piece of my content is how I can specifically help them with some sort of zany scenario, which usually involves either like a perceived enemy hacking them in ways that cannot be proven, or like a highly specific scenario that requires me to do something criminal on their behalf. So starting out very, very strong.
Summer's biggest hack turns the tables with the help of TV's most notorious hacker.
Got my laptop right here in my willy bag. You do know Windows 95, right? Cool, don't matter. Got the cord. Plug that bad boy in and let it warm up for an hour.
Bro,
it's
how do
a
you
puzzle
have
unlike any he's faced before.
I actually have that specific bundle of cables. It's like right over here. So that's pretty accurate.
Yo, dude, how you doing over there?
Still trying to get the lay of the land. So many Delta boarding pads.
Hey, that's my screen. Nick, you've seen my background, right? On my screen.
He's hacked into you.
Yeah, it's like 100 screenshots. There we go.
It's a job for the whole F Society team.
What the hell, Elliot? Who is she? This is not safe. Why are you helping her?
Yo, bitch, I do not need this right now. For real. You need to chill. Sorry.
A dive into the broken mind of an unstable genius and the hacker she hired to help.
Come on, put my password in. P-A-S. Hey, you got it, dude. It was password. Damn, you is good, dude.
But you could be great if you didn't let your emotions get the best of you.
Ooh, well, hello there.
You could see Mr. Robot?
So, is there a Mrs. Robot?
No, he's a ghost. He's dead.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, gosh.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
With a startling conclusion you won't believe.
Leslie, I found your hacker.
Who is this bitch? Oh, that's me.
It seems you backed up your photos to your online website. Don't know how you did it. It's actually really hard to do.
So, yeah, no, that most of the disclosure things that happen are just people connecting stuff without really understanding what they're doing and then ending up getting exactly what they set up. So,
yep.
Yeah, that's yikes.
Most of the world's problem. Yep. Most of the times it's a boring answer.
Got a photo shoot with Amtrak magazine that I'm 2 days late for, so thanks for this, man.
Amtrak? Oh.
Do they still do that?
I don't know. Yeah, because when I was on flights, I don't remember seeing any like airline magazines anymore. So maybe Amtrak still does it.
I'm sorry. There are definitely in-flight magazines. All right, well.
I should probably feel something right now, but I don't.
Hold on, man. This just don't feel balanced. Good God. All right, get some vitamins, man. Get some sleep. Y'all millennials, take care of yourself.
Beep bop boop boop, beep bop boop.
Great. So I will say, again, the number one thing that people ask me to do when they find out that I break computers is to either fix their computer or try to solve
someone else's computer.
Yeah, try to solve some sort of zany caper about somebody attacking, hacking, or otherwise breaking it. And most of the time, it's them either not understanding the way that a feature works or something that they set up themselves and forgot about.
Yep. I did like how Pete Davidson, he kind of did nail Elliot's weird talking pattern.
Yeah, and they really nailed like the weird way they film it. So it's just like unbalanced and makes you uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all we have time for today. If you enjoyed this, make sure to let us know, and maybe we will do some more. Of course, there are plenty of hacking episodes in Mr. Robot. And Nick, thank you very much for joining us for another round of Hackers React to hacking scenes in Mr. Robot.
Yeah, I enjoyed being on again, so thank you for having me.
Cool. Well, if you have any other scenes that you want us to react to, make sure to drop them in the comments on the YouTube channel or drop them in the live chat. Hopefully we don't get taken down by YouTube on this one again, but hopefully we'll also have enough time to appeal these so we have a good system to bring these to you, because they're a lot of fun. We really enjoy them, and analyzing these is really dense because Mr. Robot has a great consulting and writing team that puts a lot of attention to detail into these scenes. So most of them are pretty practical, although I think we found a couple that were a little bit confusing, specifically being able to like watch someone's screen when they already had completely switched operating systems from the one that you bugged. But hey, what do I know? It could just be a cable. I'm just going to say it's a cable.
Read the episode synopsis tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we need an answer, because like it would be really funny if like he was just nuking his computer repeatedly and like the whole time it was an HDMI cable that was the culprit.
Which is why that would be a good piece of tech, a scary piece of tech for the feds to have.
Yeah, no, HDMI cables are precious. You don't want to get rid of those if you don't have to. And also, how would you destroy an HDMI cable? Like put it in the microwave? It's gonna burn down your house.
Yeah, I don't know. He just loves putting things in his microwave. It was fun. I remember I got in trouble as a kid a lot for putting like bags of. If you ever put like bags of chips in a microwave, don't do this at home. You never done that?
No.
Well, if it's empty, it like shrinks up, and it's like a tiny little bag of chips.
All right, well that's something I did not know that. I think one time I tried to microwave a grape, and that was the last time I microwaved anything. So I don't know anything about what it would be like to microwave a SIM card. It seems like they just burst into flames and destroy themselves, so that's pretty nice. But it could also burn down your house. So if you do need to perform a wipe, there might be better ways of doing that. And of course, don't forget the HDMI cable.
Yeah, and first use software, and then destroy it with a hammer and water.
Or just drill it. We've seen that works too.
Or drill it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, that's all we have for this episode. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.